morning, students. So let me start the lecture.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you for joining. Let me start my lecture. Okay, so let me open the EduPen software. Okay, just a second. Yes. Okay. So without any delay, let me start the lecture. So in first two lectures, I was actually creating your base towards the syllabus. Okay, because in syllabus you need to understand what is a PN junction device and other things you need to understand. For that, at least you should know what is the meaning of a semiconductor, what is the meaning of a valence band, what is the meaning of a conduction band, why intrinsic semiconductor is not useful, why extrinsic semiconductors are useful, why intrinsic semiconductor conductivity is in temperature's hand. However, in case of extrinsic semiconductor, we can control the property of a semiconductor. These things I wanted to tell you. That's why I have start with basics of semiconductors. Okay, and this is only for your knowledge. इसका syllabus में इतना ज़्यादा importance नहीं है. Today, let me start the syllabus. इस syllabus क्या है? And from the syllabus, we will understand the things. Okay, so let me open the syllabus, and I think in syllabus, the very first topic is PN junction diode. So let me start today PN junction diode. जो भी चीजें, whatever the things will be required to understand the PN junction diode, I will briefly explain you those things also, those concepts also. Like, for example, in case of a PN junction diode, you have p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, you have electrons. However, in case of a p-type semiconductor, you have holes. So here, one more term is there, holes. So I think you need to understand first what is the hole, and then we will move to the PN junction diode. Similarly, if I will think some other concept is needed to understand the PN junction diode, I will tell you that within this lecture only. Okay, so let me share the screen. I have already shared the screen with you, and now the whiteboard is in front of you. Okay, so to understand PN junction, so let me write here PN junction diode. PN junction diode. So to understand completely the PN junction diode, we require two things. Number one, concept of hole, and number two, Fermi level. These two things, अगर हमें पता होंगे, we will know these two things, we can understand PN junction diode completely. Okay, so first let's understand what is the concept of hole. Why the hole is also important. What is the hole? Hole is basically an absence of an electron. If the electron is not present, it's an empty state. So we call this is a hole. Okay. Now I told you in the last lecture that this is a conduction band, and let's say this is a valence band. So what I told you in the last lecture is, if the electrons are present in the valence band, meaning they are moved. अगर हम इसका correlation देखें with if we will see the correlation of this diagram with actual electron and hole or atoms positions, so how we can correlate it, that the electrons which are present in the valence band, they are basically bound to its parent atom, and the electrons which are present in the conduction band, they can move freely inside the crystal. This we already know. Okay. Now if an electron jump from valence band to the conduction band, this electron is free to move anywhere in the crystal. Okay. And it take part into the conduction. Okay. Now, since there is one empty place here, so now there is a scope of movement of electron in the valence band also. Like the electron is moving in the conduction band and it's contributing to the current. Similarly, there is a possibility now, since now there are empty states available in the valence band also, So what does it mean? That the electron can also move in the valence band, but people don't find the movement of electron in the valence band to calculate the current. People don't use the movement of electron in the valence band. They don't use. Why they don't use? So let me just give you one example. It will clear all the things. Let's say you go to one picture hall, let's say, and you wanted to watch the movie, let's say, okay, and let's say in the cinema hall, let's say there are 100 chairs, let's say there are 100 chairs like this. You have 100 chairs in the cinema hall like this, and suppose on every chair on every chair a person is sitting, and that person is not differentiable. Let's say all the person who are sitting on the chairs are in, you cannot differentiate between them. Let's say like the all electrons are same size, same shape, same weight, everything is same. So let's say similarly a person is sitting, and the persons are sitting on every chair, and they are same weight, they are same face, and everything is same. And let's say one chair is empty. Let's say one chair is empty. On every chair the persons are sitting, and one chair is empty. And now suppose the security guards comes and open the gate of the cinema hall, and he check that what is the positions, how the persons are sitting. He saw that, and let's say he closed the door. And after some time, when there is a reshuffling of these persons, some persons can come here, this person can come here, this person can go to there, this person can go to there. Then there is a reshuffling of the persons. And let's say after some times, the security guards again open the door. Now, can anyone tell me what would be easy for the security guard? That
empty space.
To check the earlier empty space.
There must be empty space.
Yes, because for the security guard, it would be very difficult. How he will differentiate that, who was sitting there, who was sitting there? It would be very, very difficult. And what would be easy? Which chair was empty earlier, and now which chair is empty now? उसके लिए empty chair को find out करना बड़ा आसान होगा as compared to the filled chairs, है ना? So जो भी empty, let's say when he opened the door at the very first place, let's say this was the empty chair, and now let's say after reshuffling, and now again he opened the doors, and now let's say this chair was empty. Now this chair is empty. So what he will understand that effectively this is the movement. Effectively overall बाकी सारे के सारे electrons तो ठीक है अपने अपने positions पे हैं, but effectively there is a net displacement is earlier this chair was empty, now this chair was empty, now this chair is empty. So that means you can say this electron comes here, or you can say this hole goes there. अब कैसे भी ये person यहाँ के बैठ गया, इसलिए अब ये वाली chair empty हो गई. Earlier this chair was empty, now this chair is empty. Or you can say this empty entity is going there. Anyhow, you can understand this. So what does it mean? It means in the valence band, since there are so many electrons and they are same in size, they are same in shape, they are same in weight, so it's very difficult to find out the motion of each and every electron. However, it's very easy to find the movement of the whole. Where was the empty state, and now where is the empty state? So that's why in semiconductor, whenever you are calculating the current, you need to calculate the current for the electron which are there in the conduction band plus holes which are there in the valence band. Meaning you cannot ignore the hole movement, or you cannot ignore the electron movement. You need to take both the entity in the current calculating equations. Number one. Number two, what is the concept of Fermi level? Okay, let's understand this. So I told you in the last lecture that in case of a silicon, we have 10 to the power 10 electrons. And if it is an intrinsic semiconductor, so that means 10 to the power 10 will be holes, because if one electron will go from valence band to conduction band, it will leave behind one hole in the valence band. Okay, that means equal number of electrons and holes. Now, in yesterday's lecture, what we have done is we have doped it with the pentavalent impurity, which creates a donor level here, and let's say this is a valence band and this is, let's say, conduction band. And as soon as we brought it at a room temperature, all the electrons which are present there at the donor level went into the conduction band. They jump into the conduction band. So now the density in the conduction band increases and becomes 10 to the power 16. So definitely in this kind of a semiconductor where you doped it with the pentavalent impurity, the number of electrons are greater than the number of holes. Okay, no problem. Now, depending upon the impurity, you can have variation in the concentration of electron. Agar aapne 10 to the, let's say if you have doped it with the 10 to the power 15, you may have different number of electrons here. If you doped with 10 to the power 17, you may have the number of electron here different than this. So now, can we represent this using a level which can directly tell you, which can give you an idea that in which semiconductor you have higher concentration of electron? So can we represent it some level? That level is known as a Fermi level. So if the number of electron and holes in the semiconductor is equal, what we will do is we will put a level in between the conduction band and the valence band. Okay, if the Fermi level is, we will represent this level as a EF, Fermi energy level. E meaning energy, F meaning Fermi. So if the Fermi level is just lying in between the valence band and the conduction band, meaning if the total distance, if the total energy gap is 1.1, so let's say if this is 0.55 and let's say this is also 0.55, then what we will call that this semiconductor has equal number of electrons and holes, meaning this is a intrinsic semiconductor. Now, if the concentration of electron increases, meaning the conduction band is now heavy. Heavy meaning uska weightage zyada ho gaya, because in the conduction band the electrons are more. So we are basically the conduction band has higher weightage. So how should we represent? What do you think? We should take the Fermi level close to the conduction band or away to the conduction band?
Away.
What?
Away to the conduction band.
Away from the conduction band.
Okay, so every answer is opposite. Why away? When आपने क्या कभी एक वो बचपन में एक सीसो नाम का एक झूला नहीं देखा था आपने? So अब मुझे एक बात बताइए. Tell me one thing. So let's say here there is a M1 mass, having M1 mass, a student is sitting, and let's say here M2 mass. And let's say M1 and M2 are equal, then this center point is just in between. Now, can anyone tell me if M1 is greater than M2, what do you think? The center point will come close to M1 or away to M1?
Close to M1.
Close to M1.
Close to M1. Similarly, with the same analogy, if we wanted to represent that more number of electrons are there, we should represent it by taking Fermi level close to conduction band, not away. If it is close, meaning the conduction band having large number of electrons. If we will take it away from the conduction band, meaning this having large number of holes, because electrons we are showing in the conduction band and holes we are showing in the valence band. So if the electrons are more, we will show that the Fermi level is close to the conduction band. So now if I ask you one question, like suppose two band diagrams are given to you. Let's say this is EC and let's say this is ED. And let's say in one of the band diagram, the Fermi level is shown here. And let's say the another band diagram is shown here. Let's say this is ED and let's say this is EC. And let's say in this Fermi level, the Fermi level is shown here. So can you quantitatively, not qualitatively, not quantitatively, qualitatively, can you tell me in which do you think, let's say this is A and let's say this is B, what do you think, which one has more number of electrons?
A has more number of electrons.
More number of
A
electrons.
has, बिल्कुल सही, A has more number of electrons than B. Okay, so ये दोनों concepts आपके clear हो गए. So this is just a representation Fermi level. So the distance between EC and EV tells you that how much electrons or holes it can have, the semiconductor can have. इसका formula भी होता है. We also have a formula for this, but that is not the part of your syllabus. वो सारा physics वालों का काम है. Those who do completely in physics, those who are there in the physics department and they are science students, they basically find out that how many number of electrons, how many number of holes are there. Engineers don't require all this information. Engineers requires what is a p-n junction diode and how does it work. That's it. Engineer does not require how many electrons, how many holes are there in the p-type semiconductor or in the n-type semiconductors. So we will not go in detail of that. You only require can you measure that, can you tell that the number of electrons in A case high or in B case high. So just I have given you the concept that by looking at the Fermi level, you will be able to tell that A has more number of electron than B, since in A the Fermi level is close to EC. Similarly, one more question. Let's say these two semiconductor you have, and these are p-type semiconductor basically. So let's say this is A, this is B, and let's say these are the conduction band level and these are the valence band level. So can you now tell me, let's say in A, this is a Fermi level, and in B, this is the Fermi level. So which one having more number of holes? A having more number of holes. Okay. So after clearing these two concepts, number one, hole concept, that the whole current is also need to be taken into the account whenever we are calculating the current. And the second concept of the Fermi level. Now let's understand the p-n junction diode very briefly. We will not go into the detail of this. Very briefly. Okay. What is a p-n junction device? Okay, let's make p-n junction device. And let's understand how does it work. So in p-n junction device, what the people do, they take a p-type silicon wafer. जैसे CD होती है ना, जैसे आपने देखा होगा CD. So similarly, a silicon wafers looks like the same as a CD. So they take P or N, doesn't matter. They can take p-type silicon wafer or they can take n-type silicon wafer, and what then they do. Let's say this is a p-type silicon wafer. What they do, they diffuse the n-type impurity in this. Okay, the diffusion process is a separate thing. ये fabrication वालों के लिए important है. Those do the fabrication course, वहाँ पे ये important है कि how the diffusion takes place. But for this time being, let's understand. They put here some phosphorus paste and they take it at some temperature. Because of the temperature, this region of this p-type silicon wafer becomes n-type because of the phosphorus atoms. So this is known as a p-n junction. So इसको और simply भाषा में अगर देखना है, और simple language में, if we wanted to see it, it simply looks like this. You can make a p-n junction diode like this. You have a piece of a p-type semiconductor and a piece of a n-type semiconductor. But मैं ये इसलिए बता रहा था कि कोई ये सोचे कि what did people do? They take a p-type and they take a n-type and between they put the glue or they put the Fevikwik and they make a p-n junction diode. No, it's not. What they do is they take a p-type silicon wafer, they put some phosphorus paste over here, they took it at 1000 degrees Celsius. At 1000 degrees Celsius, the phosphorus atom get diffused inside the p-type silicon wafer and make some of the region as a n-type, and that's why this junction is known as a p. This is n and this is p. So this junction is known as a PN junction. Okay. So I have given you a little bit flavor of how a PN junction device is formed. Okay, no problem. Now, how does it work? So P-type semiconductor has more number of holes. This we already know, because in P-type semiconductor, we impure it using a trivalent impurity, and trivalent impurity has 3 valence electron. So 1 electron is missing there. So it's having more number of holes, because missing electron meaning holes. N is having 1 extra electron, and it's ready to lose. It's available to lose at very low energy. So at room temperature, all the electrons goes into the conduction band. Okay. So let me draw a band diagram over here. Let me draw a band diagram over here. Okay. So this is EC. This is EV. Let's say this is a P-type semiconductor, and let's say this is a N-type semiconductor. Okay. Okay. Before that, one more concept we will understand before that. And what is that? Again, related to Fermi level. Again, related to Fermi level. Can you tell me? Okay, just a minute. Can you tell me if a semiconductor is like this? Let's say this is an N-type semiconductor, and let's say this is the Fermi level. Can you tell me what is the meaning of this semiconductor? Let's say this is the A end of the semiconductor, and let's say this is the B end of the semiconductor.
There is a gradient.
There is a gradient. Yes, definitely. There is a gradient. There is a non-uniformity in the doping. Okay. Now, very, very important concept. Whenever you let's say bring 2 different semiconductors together, so always in equilibrium, the Fermi level must be constant with respect to distance. Fermi level must be constant. If the Fermi level will not be constant, the device will not be in equilibrium, because there will be a concentration gradient of electron and holes. That means it is not reached till in equilibrium. So, अगर हमें कभी भी ये कहना है, if we wanted to say that a device is in equilibrium, DEF divided by DX has to be 0. Fermi level constant होना चाहिए, Fermi level एक line में होना चाहिए, तभी हम कहेंगे that the device is in equilibrium. Like suppose you have 2 different, let's say you have 2 bottles. Okay, and in bottles you have different water levels. एक में water level यहाँ तक है, and एक में water level यहाँ तक. And let's say somehow आप यहाँ से यहाँ water को allow कर रहे हैं. So this water will flow till the time both the bottles have the same water level. So then only we will say that these 2 bottles are in equilibrium. Similarly, if you bought 2 different semiconductor which has a different concentration gradient or different concentration of electrons or holes, then there will be a movement of electron and holes until the Fermi level get constant. Okay, so now let's say this device P has large, yes,
Fermi level will not exist until it's at equilibrium with the semiconductors.
Yeah. So if the device is in equilibrium, Fermi level must be constant. Fermi level must be constant. If Fermi level is having a concentration gradient, meaning DEF by DEX is not equal to 0, meaning the device is not in equilibrium. This is what I wanted to tell you. Okay, so let's say P is having more number of holes. Let's say N is having more number of electrons. So let me draw electrons as a solid point like this. Okay. So as soon as you make a p-n junction, what do you think? The very first phenomena will be, because of the concentration gradient, the electron will try to diffuse towards p side. However, the holes will try to diffuse towards n side. This will be the first phenomenon. And in electronics, whenever there is a movement of electron and hole because of the concentration gradient, we call that phenomena as a diffusion phenomena. What we call diffusion phenomena. If there is a movement of electron and hole because of the concentration gradient, we call that phenomena as a diffusion phenomena. And if, let's say, the electron and hole movement is because of the electric field, कहीं पर भी अगर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की वजह से कोई डिफ्यूजन ऑफ मूवमेंट होता है, कोई मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और होल्स होता है, so we call it a drift phenomena. So whenever there is a electric field and there is a movement of electron and hole because of that electric field, then we call that this phenomena is known as a drift phenomena. And if the movement of electron and hole is because of the diffusion, is because of the concentration gradient, we call it a diffusion phenomena. Okay. So now in p-n junction, total there are 4 types of current. 4 types of current total. 4 types of current. कौन सी? 2 because of diffusion and 2 because of drift. How? Let me tell you. Okay. Number 1. As soon as you make the contact, as soon as, let's say, you make the contact, the electron starts moving from conduction band of n side to the p side because of the concentration gradient, and hole starts moving from p side to n side. Okay, no problem. So as soon as the electron moves from n to p, this phenomena is diffusion. Diffusion because of electron. What do you think? What will be the current direction? What will be the current direction due to the
Opposite to
electron
movement
diffusion?
of
Opposite to that of
movement of
electron.
electron.
P to n. P to n.
Yes, sir.
Because of, यहाँ पे लिख भी लेते हैं, because of electron diffusion. Okay. The another phenomena, holes are moving towards p to n. So what do you think the current direction is? Current direction will again be p to n.
P to N.
Yes, because of hole diffusion. Okay. So this is first phenomena as soon as you create the junction between p and n. Now, what happens? As soon as one electron goes from n to p, it leaves behind a donor ion. It leaves behind a donor ion. कौन सा donor ion? Which you have doped. जो phosphorus ion आपने मिलाया था, it was having 5 number of electrons. 4 का तो covalent bond बना हुआ था. 4 were bonded with the covalent bond. The extra electron was loosely bound, and this extra electron now went into the n-type material. P-type material. Now this is already diffused to p-type material. What does it mean? It means the n-type semiconductor now has one positive charge. One positive charge, and which is fixed. This phosphorus atom cannot move. In the crystal, the electron can move. Phosphorus atom cannot move. अगर atoms भी move करने लग जाएंगे, it would be a gaseous state. फिर तो वो gaseous state हो जाएगी. Solid state में so in solid state the atoms are fixed at the position. Okay. So as soon as one electron moves, one positive ion leaves behind, one positive donor ion. The another electron move from n to p, another positive electrons leave, positive donor ions leaves behind in the n. Similarly, when the holes goes from p to n, it leaves behind an acceptor ion. When another holes moves, it leaves behind an acceptor ions. Okay. Because of this fixed positive and negative charges, there is a electric field. There is a electric field. And what is the direction of electric field?
N to P.
N to P. Very good, because it's plus to minus. So N to P. Now, electric field always create a force on positive and negative charges. And the equation is F is equal to QE. So if the charge is positive, the force direction is similar to E. If the charge is negative, the force direction will be opposite to E direction. Now, in N-type semiconductor, there are some minority charge carrier also. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि in N-type semiconductor you have only electrons. You also have some holes. वो तो जो room temperature पे 10 to the power 10 holes थे वो तो है ही. So you also have some holes in N-type semiconductor. And let's say this holes is very near to this region. Let's say here there is a hole. Now, can anyone tell me this hole will experience a force or not? Yes, definitely it will experience a force because it is present in the depletion region. It is present in the field of electric in the electric field. So what do you think? This hole, अगर ये hole यहाँ पर भी है, and let's say it's in a random motion, and let's say random motion करता, suppose at any point of time it comes very close to this depletion, this electric field. Then what do you think? As soon as it will come under the electric field, immediately the electric field will swept away this hole towards
N-type conductor.
N to P.
P.
N to P, because hole has a positive charge, so definitely it will experience a force in the direction of field. And what is the direction of field? N to P. So what does it mean? What is the current direction? N to P or P to N?
N to P.
N to P. Definitely N to P, because holes are present in N side, the minority charge carrier basically. Now I'm talking about the minority charge carriers. So minority charge carriers, which are their holes in N side, they will be swept by the electric field towards P side, and they will create a current N to P because of hole drift. यहाँ पे हम लिख सकते हैं because of hole drift. Okay. What about the electrons which are minority charge carriers in the P side? That electron will be taken by the electric field in which direction? P to N.
P to N.
Because the electric field direction is N to P. So electron उसके opposite direction में लेके जाएगी. Opposite direction में लेके जाएगी तो P to N लेके जाएगी. It will take P to N. But what will be the current direction?
N to P.
N to P. Because of electron drift. Okay. So now, because of concentration gradient, there exists electric field. And now that electric field opposes the further movement of majority charge carriers. ध्यान से सुनना, दोबारा बता रहा हूं. Diffusion happens because of the minority or because of the majority?
Majority.
charge carrier.
Yes. So diffusion happens because of the majority, and drift happens because of the minority, and the majority charge carriers were diffusing and they were start building the electric field, and this electric field opposes the movement, yes, stops the movement of this majority charge carriers because the field direction is N to P. So now if as soon as any electron, which is the majority charge carrier, want to cross from N to P, will not be able to cross because this electric field create a force in opposite direction. So this electron cannot further move from N to P. So whenever these two currents, diffusion is P to N and drift is N to P. So whenever these two current becomes equal, what we call it, that there is a equilibrium in the device. So if we have not applied any external voltage to this semiconductor device, let's say at 0 bias, there is a diffusion of majority charge carrier from N to P as well P to N as well as P to N, making a diffusion current which is from P to N, also making an electric field, and because of this electric field, there is a movement of minority charge carriers, hole from N to P, electron from P to N, also making a current which is known as a drift current, and the direction is from N to P. Whenever this P to N diffusion current and whenever this N to P drift current becomes equal, we call that there is an equilibrium in the device. Okay. Now, अगर इसको बैंड डायग्राम में देखना हो और अच्छे से समझना हो, let me again explain you one thing. Let's say this was your p-type semiconductor. बहुत ध्यान से समझना इस चीज को. And let's say this was your n-type semiconductor. And let's say this has the doping of 10 to the power 16. So I have shown here the Fermi level. And let's say this has the p-type semiconductor also having the 10 to the power 16 concentration. I think time is over or what? 9:30 हो गए.
Sir, 10 more minutes, sir.
10 minutes.
9:40 तक है.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. Sorry. Then तभी तो बहुत है. फिर तो हम पूरा complete कर सकते हैं. Okay. So let's say this is 10 to the power 16 and let's say this is also 10 to the power 16 holes. Now understand this. Very important. Not important because of the examination point of view. हो सकता है examination point of exam में तो आपसे हो सकता है theory पूछे भी ना. They directly ask a numerical. But आपको concept पता होना चाहिए जरूरी. इसलिए मैं इतना ज्यादा डिटेल में इसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ. देन बाद में क्या होगा, सारे न्यूमेरिकल इजी लगने लगेंगे अपने आप. सो नाउ बहुत ध्यान से सोच के मुझे बताना. इफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर गोइंग फ्रॉम N to P, definitely the concentration here will be less. 100%. If it is dropped uniformly 10 to the power 16 and if the electrons are going from N to P, definitely there is less electron here. And if the holes are going from P to N, definitely there is a less concentration here near the edge of the semiconductor. Near the edge of this semiconductor, you definitely have less number of electrons as compared towards this side. So now, how to show this on the Venn diagram? Okay. In equilibrium, as soon as the equilibrium reached, what I told you, that the Fermi level will be the gradient.
Gradient.
Yes, the gradient in the Fermi level will be 0. The Fermi level will be constant throughout. So now let me first draw the Fermi level. Because it is very easy to first draw the Fermi level. Because हमें पता है condition कि equilibrium में अगर device आ गई है, so definitely the Fermi level must be constant with respect to x. Okay. Now, let's say I wanted to show this. How should I show? Now, at the very near of this edge, let's say this edge is A, this edge is B, and let's say this edge is C, and let's say this edge is D. Let's say, just a minute. Yes. So near A, what do you think? How should we represent the conduction band? So we should represent the conduction band something like this. Maybe you have seen this kind of a Venn diagram earlier also. Why we have represented this like this? Because now this conduction band is telling you that this semiconductor has 10 to the power 16 here, but somewhat 10 to the power 15 here, somewhat 10 to the power 14 here, and somewhat 10 to the power 10 or 11 here. Because from here, some of the electron is already went into the p-type material. And पूरा बनने देना तब समझना. And in case of a p, you wanted to show, अगर आपको same चीज show करनी है इसके ऊपर, so you wanted to show like this. So the p should be like this, and the n should be like this. And here you have a junction in between. This is your junction. Okay. What this band showing? that this is a Fermi level, so very near, let's say this is N and let's say this is P, so very near to this junction you have less concentration of electron. That's why you have shown like this. That's why you have shown like this. And in case of a P, you have less number of holes. That's why this Fermi level is going away. क्योंकि मैंने आपसे शुरू में ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था, आपको ध्यान होगा कि if this is a semiconductor and let's say this is a B semiconductor, which one is having more electrons? So your answer was A.
A.
Similarly, if you wanted to show here that this portion having a less number of electron compared to this portion, so definitely we should show that the conduction band is going away. Now, one more thing. अब अगर हमें फील्ड को रिप्रेजेंट करना है, पिछले वाली स्लाइड में हमने क्या किया था? We have also shown the field over here. हमने फील्ड को भी शो किया था. Okay. So आपको पता है what is this axis? What is this axis? Y axis in this diagram?
Yes, sir.
What is this axis? Y axis पे हम क्या रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं? What we are representing on Y axis?
Energy.
Energy. So X axis पे position. So what do you think? The gradient in energy is known as?
Fermi level.
So you are not.
Okay. So let me tell you. So this is one energy and this is another energy. So वो जो concept पिछले last slide पे अपन समझ रहे थे कि the electron, the diffusion electron, the majority charge electron cannot move towards this side. हम ऐसे समझ रहे थे कि the electron cannot move. Why it cannot move? Because of the electric field. Electric field will oppose this movement. So now here how you can understand? So now since there is a potential gradient, since there is a higher energy towards this side, so the electron cannot climb. How the electron will climb? Because electron does not have energy. कहीं बाहर से तम energy तो दे नहीं रहे. So electron cannot move towards this side, towards the P side. So the further movement will stop. And can anyone tell me? What do you think? What is this height? What do you think? What will be this height?
Difference in electrons.
अच्छा तुमने अच्छा किसी ने ये सुना है कभी 12th के अंदर कि डायोड का एक नी वोल्टेज होता है? किसी ने सुना है नी वोल्टेज?
Yes, sir.
कितना होता है वो?
तो फॉरवर्ड बायस में आता था ना?
हाँ, फॉरवर्ड बायस में आता था. कितना आता था? कैन एनीवन टेल मी कि व्हाट
So
वाज
0.7 for silicon.
तो 0.4 था.
0.7 वोल्ट. 0.7 वोल्ट.
And
नाउ
0.3 for germanium.
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. अब मैं आपको ये दोनों चीजें क्लियर कर देता हूँ. ये तो हमने तब रट लिया था. कि सिलिकॉन का 0.7 होता है, जर्मेनियम का 0.3 होता है. नाउ जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट. N type में, let's say this is an N type semiconductor, and let's say we have doped it with 10 to the power 16. So generally, what do you know that if you are doping a material with a 10 to the power 16, meaning 1 part per million, this difference between conduction band and Fermi level is, do you know how much it is? It is 0.2 electron volt. It comes out to be 0.2 electron volt. If it is 0.1, it is 10 to the power 18. If it is 0.3, it's somewhere around 10 to the power 15. Okay. In P-type semiconductor, if you are doping it with a 10 to the power 16, what is the difference? 0.2. Now, since in equilibrium, these two levels has to be at the same level. So what do you think? What is this height now? Can anyone tell? What is this height now? अरे भाई यही डिफरेंस तो बराबर किया है हमने. दिस डिफरेंस भी है यहाँ पे हमने इसको ले लिया है, इसने डिफरेंस को, ये वाले डिफरेंस को. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस डिफरेंस? अरे टू शो फर्मी लेवल एट Why 0.5? What is the total? This is a silicon. What is the total?
1.1.
1.1. And 0.2 is here and 0.2 is here. So what will be this?
0.7.
So what does it mean? These electrons are facing the barrier of 0.7 electron volt energy. This is the energy axis. So energy is represented in terms of electron volt. So the difference is 0.7 electron volt. So what does it mean? How much voltage if you will apply so that this motion can start, that the electron can go towards the p side?
0.7
0.7 volt.
0.7.
That's why the knee voltage of the silicon diode is 0.7 volt. And it is not constant. So what will be your answer? It depends upon what?
Temperature.
Not temperatures. It depends on
Doping
what?
level.
Doping
Type
level.
of
What is the doping you have created? What is the doping you have made in the semiconductor? If it is heavily doped, what do you think? The knee voltage will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Increase, bhaiya. If you will increase the doping, this will go very close to the conduction band, and this will also come very close to the valence band. So the difference between two Fermi level is further increased. And if the difference between two Fermi level will increase, this built-in potential also increase. If this will increase, you will be having more knee voltage. You will be requiring more voltage to start the movement of the electron. I hope many things get cleared. अब आपको biasing में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी. अब आप biasing खुद भी कर सकते हो. As soon as you will apply a plus voltage here and a negative voltage here, what you are doing? You are applying a negative voltage here. So you are basically increasing this conduction band energy, because electron के case में negative voltage देने पे उनकी energy increase होती है. So as soon as you are applying a negative voltage here, you are pushing the electrons. You are basically increasing this level. So what do you expect? That till 0.7, you will be having very small amount of current. Why? Because still there is a barrier. What do you think? After 0.7, what do you think?
It
A
will
large
increase, sir.
movement. A large movement. Kyun? Because this band will come flat. Then this band will become flat. Now this n-type having a large number of electrons, p-type having a large number of empty state in the conduction band. क्योंकि p-type का तो conduction band पूरा का पूरा खाली है. So every electron will see here an empty state. It will try to go this side. It will try to go this side. And after 0.7 volt, the current will increase exponentially. Because 0.7 के बाद ये सारा का सारा barrier खत्म हो जाएगा. All the barrier will go away. As soon as you apply a voltage more than 0.7 volt, there will be no barrier. Electron, which the majority charge carrier, which were not able to move because of the electric field, now the external electric field is dominating over the internal electric field. Since internal electric field 0.7 volt के equivalent कहीं थी, जब आपने external electric field you have applied, and it gets dominated over the internal electric field, the movement of the electron, movement of the majority charge carrier started. I think time is over. अब तो 9:43 हो गए.
Yes, sir.
जाओ
Yes,
भैया,
sir.
next उसमें करेंगे. Next teacher will be waiting somewhere. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.